Rosario+Vampire, second season, is one of the most insulting and yet thematic adaptation of our source material. How can this anime be so bad, and yet still remain true to its characters? Well, this show certainly is one of the kind, and a good example where fanservice can actually hurt an anime. I love Mr. Meiji, therefore fanservice is almost always well received in my sight. Almost always. Because as of now, there are some shows that don't benefit that much from panty shots and nudity. This may sound as blasphemy, but after watching Freezing and of course Rosario+Vampire, I came to the sad, unfortunate realization that it is indeed possible for an anime to suffer from too much fanservice. It's just Rosario+Vampire could have been a serious, darker entry in the harem genre, but for some reason the adaptation decided to focus more on its comedy than gothic atmosphere and occult premise. There's so much potential in this property. We're talking about vampires, werewolves, and mages here, folks. This could have been the new best thing of its time.
Monsters! That's pretty funny! Well, I guess it's obviously a comedy
serious.
show, isn't
Can't you
it?
tell I'm real?
The manga series certainly has enough material to be brought to the screen in 60 episodes or even more. We need a reboot, ASAP. Or better yet, a remastered version, called it Rosario+Vampire Sisterhood. Joking aside, this anime has so much potential, and it is sad to see it represented so poorly in these two animated seasons, but even with the versions we have, there still is a lot of good about them, more so than the negatives, in my opinion, which makes me even more frustrated with the anime. First of all, characters are fun and colorful. It is very entertaining to watch how they interact with each other through their rivalities and friendships they form along the way. The base is strong. Even thrown into senseless story arcs, these girls hold up as interesting and well-developed waifus. Even the main character is a pretty decent guy. Sure, he is sadly part of the weak and nose-bleeding harem kings that used to plague the anime scene a decade ago. But even considering that, Tsukune Aono is a fun guy to have around. He's witty on many occasions.
So this is your bedroom, mate, Skune? Whoa, it's so big! A
You
lot
haven't
bigger
seen
than I
it yet.
thought. Huh?
He has some good interactions with his harem. I can see why girls like him, seriously. His kind-hearted nature and approachable personality really makes him stand out between other students, despite being some puny human surrounded by powerful magical entities. The nice guy archetype really works here, as most girls are either insecure or persecuted for being monsters. So it makes sense for these waifus to like someone that does not judge them based on their nature.
I thought it was. I'm so glad you're all right.
No! Stay away! I know what you are! You're a monster like everybody else in this place, aren't you?
Also, as always, I watched the dub version, and boy, I'm glad I did. You can see that voice actors had a lot of fun with this anime. And they do a great job in bringing such entertaining and cool characters to life. Also, the show breaks the fourth wall on a number of occasions.
Your power's electrifying! Wee! That Pat! All along I thought he was just a narrator for the show, but now...
Has he been in cahoots with her?
Last time it was that snow bitch. Then before that, Yukari. It won't be long now before it's my turn to play a lead. Hell yeah!
Which I don't know if was part of the original release, but here, it works just perfect with the lighter tone. It is hard for me to be harsh with this anime. I mean, I see why this is a disappointing and even insulting adaptation of the manga, but I can't dismiss the show as a whole, because it does have numerous moments that do make this anime one of the better entries in the harem genre. I even had the pleasure of reading and owning a few volumes of the source material, and it is indeed a lot darker, but the characters feel the same in both media, except Skune of course, who is a complete badass in the manga, while in the show...
Mocha, leave this to me! It's to me. It's to me.
Yeah, he's funny, I guess, and he does try to help others, but mostly fails, like the puny teenage boy he is. Initially, the Harem King was supposed to start as an insecure boy and later on develop into a powerful fighter, after the many times he had physical contact with a vampire. From what I can recall, after having his blood sucked, by Mocha on so many occasions, he eventually transforms into a ghoul, and even fights her, as he cannot control his master form. Sadly, I didn't go too far with the manga, because I don't like reading, and I prefer seeing Mocha's panties when she kicks her opponent.
Flying kicks, roundhouse kicks, spinning kicks. There's a ton of different ways to kick someone's ass.
For some reason her crotch was blurred in my copy of the manga. Anyway. What can I say for sure is that Skune is eventually going to become strong, but sadly, we only get a tiny glimpse of that in the second season of the anime adaptation.
This is the best part of the story!
This is a harem after all, therefore the spotlight falls primarily on the girls. I gotta say, these are some fine, high quality waifus. I like how the show is self-aware of it being more or less a parody. It's not easy to make fun of your own story and manage to make it actually funny, but Rosario+Vampire manages to walk that fine line on enough occasions that in the end made me overlook its other awkward and weird moments.
Oh, Mocha.
Skune.
Oh, Mocha.
Skune.
Let me get back to fanservice for a moment. We rarely get to see boobs, but we get to witness an abundance of panty shots nearly in every frame of the show. I like panty shots, and I do respect their presence in Rosario+Vampire, although sadly I have to admit, too much is sometimes a bit too much. Even when we're talking about fanservice, in many scenes, panty shots add to the humor and absurdity of the situation. But sometimes, when the show tries to be serious and manages to deliver an emotional moment, panty shots simply appear on the screen and distract me from being fully invested in the story. Never have I thought I would see fanservice as a detriment in anything, but in the second season of Rosario+Vampire, I would advise for decency rather than lifting girls' skirts every single minute. While we do have some beautiful girls to stare at, I say Mocha Kashiya is the best from the bunch. She's the main chick after all, and a bloodthirsty vampire, which is basically the hottest occult creature you can find. She's an S-class monster and fairly overpowered compared with the other chicks from the harem.
Vampires. A perfect pairing of ultimate power and the magnetism of consummate beauty.
Mocha is the one that almost always does the heavy lifting in a fight and defeats her opponent with a single kick.
Well, did you learn anything?
It kinda became the show trademark, telling all these people to learn your place, while the narrator bet is calculating the duration of a fight.
This episode's big showdown only took a mere 31 seconds! Whee!
Not much has changed in this regard concerning the second season. Mocha stays just as beautiful in both of her forms. I kinda prefer Vampire Mocha instead of her shy human form. Don't get me wrong, being her Mocha is the dream girl for most guys on this planet.
I really would have liked to have met your mother too, Skune. It would have been so nice.
With her innocent personality, cute face and delicate voice, but I prefer a bit more spirit in a woman, and Vampire Mocha is just that. She is tall, strong, confident, and dominant, also having a thick and feminine body. That's right, Mocha's breast and ass increase size when her true vampire form is revealed.
When the rosary seal over her breast is removed, Mocha's innocent self vanishes and her inner vampire awakens.
I love this chick. So mysterious and
Is everything
terrifying,
okay?
also beautiful and hot.
So it's like this, am I getting it? Is this the right motion? This is actually a lot harder than it looks. How am I doing now?
I just love how innocent and cute the romance between Mocha and Skune is. This dude does have a harem, but it was made pretty clear that Mocha is the one for his affection. I always look forward to see them gaze into each other's eyes while music plays in the background.
Oh, I don't mind. You're my friend. Anything for you.
Oh, Mocha.
Skune.
Oh, Mocha.
Skune.
Oh, Mocha.
Unfortunately, these little moments do not carry over into the second season. Skune and Mocha do still often flirt with each other, but it is a better shadow of the pink magical moments they used to share together.
Hey there, Mocha.
Skune.
Let's talk about some singing, because there's a bunch of that in the second season of Rosario+Vampire. Now the first season also had one episode with a musical, the one with the pool and the mermaids. In the second season, they bring the concerts to the front of the show. We have Kurmu and Misery sing their own versions of their romance story, but even the bad gets to take center stage in a concert. But more on that later. When it comes to the harem, not much has changed, besides Kurmu having to primarily face Misery as her rival. In the first season, she was openly fighting Yukari, but now Misery seems to have gathered quite a fan base, and Emily decided to give her more opportunities to shine. Kurmu still teases Yukari on occasions, which is nice to see that her previous rivalry was not forgotten.
No one ever told you a woman's feminine appeal is in her breasts? Her breasts.
The episode that best summarizes the conflict within the harem is the one when parents are invited to assist their children in class. Although kinda stupid, it was a bunch of fun to see the mothers of Misery and Kurmu look exactly like their daughters. Oh yeah, if you ask me, I'd say Kuruma is better than Misery. Sorry guys, but she has bigger boobs, a more cheerful personality, and she's a succubus, which means an info, like Team Kuruma here.
Sorry, but I've got some balls to go grab.
The second season of Rosario+Vampire also introducing a brand new character, Mocha's sister, Kokua. I liked her in the show. She basically loves the true form of her sister and tries to do whatever it takes to bring her back into her life.
You're starting to get on my nerves.
Wonderful. Getting kicked by my big sister.
Her character arc, although simple and naive, was compelling and interesting.
You think if you're nice to me, I'll be just like the others? Then I'll fawn all over you like the rest of your dumb harem!
You can do character development even in a more non-conventional way, I guess. Kokua does change as a person after meeting Skune. While at first she hated him for being some weak human, in the end she starts to admire his courage and determination.
You worrying about me? That's so sweet.
What? Don't make me laugh, you creep! Huh. As if I'd worry about you anyway.
However, I'm still going in.
When it comes to Ruby, I can see why many would not approve of her depiction in this season, but for me, I loved it. It was so much fun to have her be an episodic character who keeps on repeating the same line over and over again.
You're a doctor now, huh? No, I'm just helping out with the measurements. Actually, it's a real long story. You're full of those, aren't you?
Until even Mocha manages to anticipate her.
And it's a very long story, right?
My line! I only get a few each episode and you just...
I consider this a clever moment, and yeah, I like Ruby.
It's such a long story.
Not again.
It's true. And this one is the longest story of them all.
Now before I give my verdict, I gotta also address my favorite episode from the series. It turns out that Bat Angel's the narrator and servant to Kokua, as in one episode he takes center stage as a womanizer.
You're way too close, meow!
I love this episode. Not only is he a cool guy, but he steals all the girls right from the protagonist.
I'll be your slave from now on till the end of time!
It is the first time that Skune has to fight for the affection of his harem as a whole against a potential rival. Now the song about Je t'aime, I loved it. One of the better soundtracks in anime.
10,000 times of telling you I love you is not enough to gain your affection.
Being on the subject, the opening song is also great, thematic, and gets me hyped for a brand new adventure in Yokai Academy. I give the second season of Rosario+Vampire a generous 7.2 out of 10. The good elements of the show outmatch the negatives, therefore this is a welcome addition for the harem genre.